So let's get to the heart of whether or not Aaron Rodgers lied to us. Because he was maskless at post game and at press avails, and we were all under the impression that he was vaccinated, and dates back to this question he was asked on August 26th.
Yeah, I've been immunized. There's a lot of conversation around it. There's guys on the team that haven't been vaccinated. I think it's a personal decision. I'm not going to judge those guys. It'll be interesting to see what happens if we can, if the protocols change at some point.
The direct question he was asked was, have you been vaccinated? He starts with,
yeah, I've been immunized.
Yeah, I've been immunized. Anybody listening to that would say, okay, synonyms or whatever, but he's vaccinated because he started with, yeah.
Well, the yes.
Yeah.
The yes is,
right.
Yeah, I've been immunized.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the answer to that question. No, I haven't been vaccinated.
So now you have the dual things working here, right, Stugotz? You have both of the things happening where this wasn't Kyrie Irving putting his name on some sort of belief system and then taking the slings and arrows. This wasn't even LeBron James, who waited a long time, Stugotz, and kind of talked around it in a way because he didn't want to be out there with the lies, Stugotz. LeBron James didn't want to say the thing that he was being pressured to say, so he just made personal decision, and for a long time, he was the only Laker who was not vaccinated. And to those of you listening who feel very lonely as people who have also chosen the path to not be vaccinated, I know that you hate the judgment and the pressure that rains down from society, from all of us on this. But we've got a situation here that is some of the favorite stuff for sports fans and just human beings. The gotcha, Stugotz, the gotcha on the combination of, oh, wait a minute, you lied to us, and you lied to us about something because it was the more popular and easy thing to do as a State Farm insurance agent, a commercial salesman. Like, did you lie to us? Because I don't even know which one sports fans get more bothered by, selfishness or dishonesty. I really don't know the answer to that.
Listen, there are people who have tested positive who feel like they're immune to it. Like, hey, I don't need to go get the vaccination. I've already tested positive. So, but Aaron doesn't come off as someone who, would take something so seriously, so flippantly, So I'm not certain. I don't know what to do with it.
I'd like to know,
because maybe he felt like he was fine and he was safe, because he had tested positive for it.
I'd like to know what he has to say about this, because I did not know that he had tested positive. You've said that a couple of times now, that he's immunized because he's got the antibodies because he's tested positive.
Well, how else would you?
That has to be what he means. Otherwise, he's lying about that too.
Right. But how else would you go about getting them?
But did you know that I had not heard that he had tested positive and therefore was immunized because he had the antibodies. You've said that a couple of times. That's not something I've read anywhere.
Well, that's what he's suggesting.
Could have caught it during the offseason. You never know.
There's also some reporting now, or I guess some speculation from Jonathan Jones of CBS, that if he is indeed unvaccinated, then he has a backlog of fines for breaking the NFL's COVID-19 protocols, because he has been breaking them. In August, Bills receiver and punt returner Isaiah McKenzie was fined $14,650 for repeated violations of the COVID-19 protocols. This guy's got a backlog of fines if he has been saying, I'm vaccinated, and then it turns out that he's not.
I'll also say this, Dan, that both my parents tested positive. My mom passed away, and my father could not get a test, could not get the vaccine, okay, for I think a period of 4 to 6 months because he had tested positive. So the doctor told him, hey, you're better off just waiting. Yeah.
I don't know what team doctors say. I don't know what NFL practice says.
I'm telling you what a real doctor told my dad.
Yeah, and I heard that when the vaccine first came out, I got it right at it's 3 months that you were supposed to wait, when they were prioritizing, people with immune disorders and all that, because they do that for a health standpoint too, because you have natural antibodies. Your body's going to fight it off. That's why I had such a difficult time recovering from the vaccine, because I had very strong antibodies having had the thing.
Is it possible, and I don't know how to do this because this was all happening in real time as we were on the air here, but is it possible to wait for an explanation before any kinds of judgments on this? Because I've already done disappointed and I've talked around like, were we lied to here? And it feels a little bit dangerous without more information. I'd kind of like to hear from him, to hear what the explanation is.
He's bought that with you? He hasn't bought that with me because he lied. He said, yeah. And if there was a reason behind not being vaccinated, I kind of feel like I'm owed that. You know, I'm not owed jack shit in the eyes of Aaron Rodgers, but you don't say yeah to a direct question about a vaccine. If you're unvaccinated and you feel like you have a good enough reason outside of the free thinker stuff that's been kind of leaking out of you since this season started, I'd like to hear it.
But what's the answer to the question, if I follow you down this path, and it is asked of Aaron Rodgers, hey, Aaron, why did you tell us you were immunized? Like, what's the answer? Can it be, or will you accept the answer of, well, I got it and I didn't tell anybody. My private life is my private life, and I thought the antibodies were going to protect me?
But there's an NFL thing here, too, because it kind of seems like this surprised everybody. And we've all heard from Cole Beasley. We've all seen what the protocols are.
Not you. You were unsurprised initially because you're like, I've heard it in the code of the language that he's using.
No. I was surprised to find out he was unvaccinated because he was asked directly if he was vaccinated. But to find out that he was one of these types that would go unvaccinated, that kind of falls in line with things that he's been saying, given the political beliefs of people who feel strongly about not being vaccinated at the moment. Was he skirting the protocols?
So the more reporting here, Ian Rappaport saying, my understanding is that Aaron Rodgers has been following protocols for unvaccinated players while inside the building. But there's like sideline protocols as well, right? Like you wear masks when you come off the field. Like you see the odd player wearing masks on the sidelines.
Are they going to have a quarterback this week? Because if he's been in meetings with all the other quarterbacks.
If Love is vaccinated.
You think he allows Jordan Love in his meetings?
Contact tracing, if Love is unvaccinated, then he would have a problem. It would be kind of like the Denver Broncos situation.
The Packers playing the Chiefs with no quarterback, with like some tight end or punter who played quarterback in college.
Now there's very clearly
That's Favre up too.
There's very clearly what you can classify at this point.
Phillip Rivers is about to show up at the Green Bay facility. Him and Cam are going to race. They're going to drag race there.
Did you see what he leaked out there? I haven't heard from the Saints, but I'll listen. No, there's very clearly an outbreak going on in Green Bay, so it's obviously good to be vaccinated. Love could still test positive for this virus, vaccinated or not, but he is more likely, even if he catches it, if he tests negative before the game, he could be cleared.
What's more interesting here? The ripple effects and the permutations of Aaron Rodgers, football player, leader, guy in his last possibly soap opera season with the Packers, undermining the season with this form of leadership that might lead to them having to play Mahomes with no quarterbacks.
Yeah, but playing this year's Mahomes is a little bit different. Yeah.
If there's any season to do it.
Evens it out a bit.
Green Bay's third string quarterback is on the COVID-19 list, by the way.
Or superstar athlete surprising us by being unvaccinated during these times and not doing it the way Kyrie Irving is doing it. And Cole Beasley are doing it. Like how much of this is there in sports? Kirk Cousins
he totally took a totally different path, which is lying to us.
Kirk Cousins caught a lot of heat for putting his name on his beliefs.
Yeah.
Oh, Aaron's catching it right now, Dan.
He should.
He's getting crushed.
As he should.
Mm-hmm.
He answered a question, are you vaccinated with yeah.
So
you lied to me, Aaron. Why?
To answer your question, no, we can't wait. I mean,
I'm not. I refuse to. He was asked directly.
I don't want to believe it. If I haven't made that clear,
Yeah,
I
don't want to believe it
we
either.
feel your pain, Dan.
This is a very rough day for you and I. We love Aaron Rodgers. And again, we both wanted to see Mahomes versus Rodgers. And it's been ripped away from us. And also, damn it, we let the Chiefs off the hook.